Hello everyone and welcome back to Temple Trials. Yes, we are at episode 6 and we are continuing today by going back to where we were at episode 3, the mechanical situation here with some contraptions and etc. What you're seeing me do here right now is building up kind of like the facade, the more or less trying to pack it in properly here with a lot of different pieces and get some nice textures inside here, which is the whole purpose of this situation. As you guys know, I jump back and forth here in this dog ride because it kind of gives me the, how do you say, the power to just power through and build a lot of stuff as I do on stream, as you guys know. This was not too late ago. It's like, what is it, 2 or 3 weeks ago I built this, and we already built a lot more in this project, which I can't wait to show you guys. So to answer a question at the comments, this park here, or this is not gonna be like a fully fledged park. It's gonna be more based on this dog ride, and I'm gonna probably add a restaurant and a plaza, and maybe we'll add a little flat ride just to have a little extra thing here. But besides that, it's not gonna be a big park. It's gonna be heavily based upon what you're seeing now, and that's pretty much it. And we probably have around 1 or 2 more areas to do, and then we can go back and forth here and fix up all our small gaps between everything and see where it takes us from that. So as you can see here, what I'm doing is that we have this sort of circular up ramp where the car goes upwards after it goes through the little gate and the mechanical situation, which is going to be triggered, and it's going to be a way more how do you say, it's going to be way better planned out, all these things here you see around in this project. So a lot of things still are without triggers, so you'll still see a few things just popping up here and there, but we will eventually fix that for the big ride. As you can see here, I'm trying to mix up some nice textures here. We got the Thermal block, and then we got the ruin pieces from the Theme Maker toolkit. And as I said previous, is that I'm trying to keep this project as basic as possible. With what I'm saying is, with using the pieces that we have already in the game and not go so crazy with Theme Maker toolkit. There are a few pieces I do use that I kind of feel like I have to do or have to use. But besides that, I think we're pretty good with the amount of pieces we've used, and I took a piece count, and we're about 28,000 pieces in this dog ride. But I've not been very gentle with the piece count, honestly. Since I know this is what I have to build in here, I don't really think about the pieces I use because it won't be a problem at all for me. But as you can see here, I'm trying to like make this little like circular way where the car can go around, and then we're gonna build like this very broken, like destroyed temple where the roof is gonna feel like it's coming down on you, like it's falling down on you, and I really love how that is going. So what I'm doing is that I'm making an overlay or a layout, as you can see, of the whole dome I want to build. Not that you're gonna see the dome from the outside, because you're not, it's gonna be covered, but the inside gives me like a nice overview on how I want to do this, and we kind of get it closed in and stuff as well. And I think that's super cool, especially when you can see here that the ruin pieces kind of fit well for the dome here. And then afterwards we're gonna detail it with like lots of ruin pieces, lots of rubble, trying to make it feel like the roof is literally falling in your face when you drive by here. And then we'll have like this big tribute for the big Chinese dragon we're gonna place in the middle here. I know it's not really, doesn't go hand in hand like the whole vibe of using these statues, but if we can go with it in the story and we can make it look nice, then I don't care so much about statues and what we use. If we can make it look nice, then that's what matters, and give it a good story, you know. So we're slowly getting close to kind of like filling in the sides here where we have where the coaster, or not the coaster, where the dog ride usually goes, and then on the side here you can see we have a little trigger trap where we have the saw blade coming out, and I think it's kind of cool because you have statues all the way around, and then all of a sudden you'll have this saw blade that comes in and where you have to be on your toes, you know, has to do this so you don't get hurt in here. And we're also going to put in some rubble pieces falling down from the roof, and this room is going to be very atmospheric and also very tight. It's going to be a very small compact room in here, as you can see already, and the colors in here doesn't really add up, as I've told you guys before, because they're like because we're working a lot in the daytime, right? This whole ride is going to be a daytime ride, so there's not really a lot of focus on having a nice color throughout the entire thing. It's mainly for the dog ride scheme, you know. So, and I feel like it's kind of cool. We're building this sort of like through October here, and then I'm hoping that by the end of the year, hopefully before December, that this ride will be finished, because that was the whole goal with it, since this is the only thing I'm kind of focusing on right now in Planet Coaster. And I really want to get back to the community park that we've been working on a lot on the channel, and kind of see what did we do wrong there, because we did a few mistakes that I am gonna try to get back up so we can slowly build it again. But yeah, as you can see here, what the whole purpose with this was to divide it in a different way, but still make it feel like everything has crumbled and everything is stacked on top of each other, and it's just about to fall down in your face, and you have to be very cautious and careful by walking in here. And I think it's super cool. This was literally just something that came out of nowhere, like inspiration wise. I felt like I needed to do something about this sort of room, about this scene. And I think with what we have here, that it really turned out amazing. Just doing a little bit of more trim work on the walls here, just to make it look a little bit more nicer. And then afterwards, I'm going crazy with the rubble pieces, the foliage, literally everything in here. And then we're packing it up so good. So you will not be able to literally put your arms out in here, because it's very compact. But it's the only room that is kind of like that. Besides that, all the other scenes and stages are pretty bigger, and you'll definitely have a lot more space and a lot more breathe to do there besides here. But I'm okay with having a few small areas where things are like that, you know. So yeah, it's really nice. As you can see here, the roof slowly starts to get nice now, like it's falling apart, and we are just making some of these rubble pieces feel like they're falling down, and adding some star panels. And then we are pretty much good to go with this whole top ceiling here, which I'm doing a little bit extra on, and then we go crazy with the foliage, as I told you, because what really adds to this whole situation, this whole vibe of the project, is the foliage, it's the roots, it's the whole overgrown vegetation. Like, it's been abandoned for many years, nature has taken over. And I know a lot of these scenes are pretty much the same when it comes to that, but that is the whole purpose about this. And you see that a lot in Aztec and Mayan temples, like the whole crumble part and like the foliage everywhere. That's literally how I see it in a lot of games though. And a lot of these scenes I do is mainly from games I've had before, or maybe I did a little quick mid-journey thing, but it's not all the time that mid-journey gives me something I can use. But when it does, it's kind of nice. And I usually also show that on stream or in my videos if I have something I built after, like inspiration wise, which I sometimes do, but then eventually it just turns out to be something, yeah, I guess it's just a starter for me to get going with it. And then the more I build, the more I kind of like add my own touches here and there. So, but yeah, as you can see, I'm trying to add in the last bits here, so I don't kind of clip through here to the mechanical part. And I can't wait to start doing the trigger work. I don't know if I will do a stream or a video with the trigger work, because we can be honest, like that's boring. But if you guys want anything about that, then let me know in the comments down below, and then whenever we'll get to it, I'll remember to record or re-upload it again to YouTube so you guys can see. But it is gonna be a boring session though, because we're gonna have lots of triggers. It's probably be the dog ride I've made with most triggers before. I've made a few before. If you haven't seen those, you should go check them. It's mainly narrated rides like the Snow Queen, the Journey. And since it's Christmas now, there's also Spirit of Christmas, which I made a few years back. I really like to do these narrated dog rides. But that was because way back in the time I was not so good or confident about building scenes or stages for these sort of dog rides. So I felt like it was way easier to have a narrator talking and telling you what's happening, what are you seeing. But we got a little bit more experience now, and I feel like we can maybe do half and half, you know, a narrator ride, and then when we go into these sort of rooms, we'll try to get this like immersive vibe, very eerie vibe too, you know. Because what I like about this ride is that even though it's an eerie ride and it's dark and we have a few spooky areas, it's mainly the whole puzzle solving and like the trigger elements that I'm really looking forward to put into here and kind of like make this ride completely full and complete. As you can see, the outside of this dome really doesn't matter because all of this is gonna be into a box when we get that far. So there's not really so much stuff to do on the outside. It's mainly focusing on the interior where the ride itself is gonna go. As you can see here now, a little bit of dark lighting here, and then we put a little bit more foliage before we start adding the nighttime lighting. And this is here where I found that idea of adding a little pillar, and then afterwards we added the Chinese dragon, which were honestly, it actually fitted pretty well here. So that's kind of like why I just decided to add it and kind of go with it, because as I told you, we have the smaller Chinese lines or Oriental lines on the side here when you kind of like go further up this little ramp here. And I am super happy for how it turned out when you can see it here, kind of like placing. It feels like something majestic is there, right? So when you go around this little circle and you look up, you not only see the destroyed ceiling and spire dome, you'll also see this guy kind of like standing on his high and yeah, making whatever tribute or what they did back here when this temple were active, you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what we do here. Besides that, I am adding a little bit more foliage, a little bit more rocks, just making the place look super nice before we end it off. And I am so much fan of these rocks. It is literally a lifesaver for some of these projects. They really do well here, and they work well too, and you can color them as well. So yeah, I'm a big fan. So right here at the end, we're adding the last foliage and a little bit of lighting. I always forget these skull lamp posts here because they are really cool. We usually use them for medieval or pirate stuff, but I felt like, you know what, it kind of works well in here with all the skulls we already have, and we are slowly going towards a more darker place into the story, into the ride here. So as you remember, when you go forward here, you come to the big guardian gate, and then you come to the big plaza where you have the gardens surrounding you. Or the faceless guardians, I must say. So yeah, we are pretty much done with this video of temple trials, guys. Next video will be up mostly in a week or so, where I will be focusing a little bit on completing some of the gaps we have between these areas, because as I told you, we are I can definitely say without the triggers we are definitely 60% done with this dog ride. We have maybe 1 or 2 scenes left, and then we obviously have the queue and the show we want in the queue, and then of course the plaza and restaurant that are gonna be a mix between this everything, and kind of like see if we can blend it in together nicely. But guys, enjoy the cinematics. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you around. Take care. Bye bye.